So yeah, I had a meal on the spinning tower.
Right.
Well, and I've even still got cowboy hats and western wear at the shops just leading onto the tower. There's two shops either side of each other. But I'd love to go to the Calgary Stampede. I mean, that is
Well,
one.
I mean, you've got the attire for it now, so you definitely come. You got your
Oh, we
shirt,
walk around the UK.
buckles, and
Honestly, any
yes.
festivals or any nights out, me and my friends, we're in Stetsons. We've got the Harriet stuff going on. Yeah, we've got all that going on.
It's
Um,
a show like no other in the world. It's pretty incredible.
Now that's whetted me taste buds there actually. But yeah, I mean, it's a great setup. And how long have you been together? I mean, what's the starting point for you all?
Well, Chris and Aaron, the other two, are actually stepbrothers. So they've known each other since they've been about 13 years old.
Mm.
Oddly enough, their father and mother started dating each other. And they became fast friends and been together ever since. And they, I guess they both moved to Vancouver. That's where I met them
Mm.
originally. And we all ended up living in a great big mansion together over the Spanish Banks at UVC. And it was nonstop music. I think there was about 14 of us living in the house at the time. And there was music in every room. And we ended up playing down in the basement. Aaron had a recording studio down there, and then the band just formed naturally. We originally called it was a kind of like a trucker band. We
Yeah.
played trucker music called Red Sovine and C.W. McCall and all that kind of stuff, just all the old classics. And we were called Run GMC. And we, yeah, I think our very first gig was Aaron's birthday party.
Oh wow! I was going to say you might get a few people think you're rappers, and you see it.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
change your name. But no,
Yeah,
that's great.
but then fast forward, we were playing in a club in Vancouver, and at that time we were just playing for beer tickets and having a good time. And a fella who was a producer in town saw us and said, "You guys just really made me smile. I've never done a country band. I'd love to record you." And it was a fellow named Garth Richardson, and he's a big rock guy. He's actually worked with Chili Peppers and Rage Against the Machine and big, huge acts. And but he wanted to record us, so we went into the studio with him, and that was really our first time in the studio. And he took some time with us, and got us familiar with what was going on in the studio. And then his partner ended up coming up to Vancouver, and we spent a whole weekend in the studio with them, and had a great weekend. It was really good, and that was kind of our first foray into it.
Oh, great. And regarding touring, has it just predominantly been Canada, or have you been further afield?
No, we've gone over to the UK. We've been in Spain. We've been Italy. We've been in France. We've gone down to the States. We just started going down to the States quite a bit before COVID hit, and then that all ended.
Mm.
And then, but we're going back. We've got a couple Country Thunders. We're going to be playing down there this year.
Oh, nice one.
Yep. So those are some nice festivals. But yeah, we wherever the van will take us, right?
Yeah, and again in the UK as well. And it was just quite funny, really, because we were talking and finding out, ladies and gentlemen, where we were from. And I said, obviously, I live quite close to Liverpool, and he said his family's pretty much predominantly from Salford in Manchester, and the United fans, and that's where I nearly cut him off.
That's right. It's a quick interview, wasn't it? An
Uh,
easy out. An easy out.
mute button. But yeah, I mean, like I said, did you manage to get to see your folks when you were over here?
Well, they all came over years ago, but I get to go back and I'll see cousins and second cousins and third cousins, and
Oh
which is
wow.
great because my family over here kind of ended at mother, father, brother, sister. We didn't have any other relatives over here, so when I go back there, it's so much. It's really fun to see them all.
Oh, brilliant.
And
So,
Chris, our banjo player, he's got a big family back in Dublin,
oh,
so we've been over there.
yeah,
Yeah,
we was in Dublin in September to watch Garth, and that was quite raunchy. That was Temple Bar
yeah,
took a hit. So
that's a
did my
good show.
wallet. Yeah. Obviously it's just Paddy's Day a couple of days ago, wasn't it, as well?
That's
So,
great.
but yeah, I mean, it's quite an interesting, varied career. Then, I mean, have you personally always been into music?
Ever since I was a kid, there's always music in my house. Oddly enough, my father played clarinet and my mother sang, so I was always dancing on our feet in the kitchen and singing songs, looking up and having a great time. And I was always in choirs as a kid and playing in school bands. And I think grade 4, I started playing trumpet, and then just played in school bands right through high school. And then as you get a little older, you get into little different styles of music. And I was in like rock bands and things like that. And but just yeah, just the whole gambit. Just it's always been there. It's always been a big part of it.
Oh, fantastic. And then
Yeah.
obviously what's happening at this moment is obviously the new singles come out. Is there an album following this or
Yeah, so
any?
we had about 32 demos that we had written over the last year between us. And there's still more being written right now because that process never stops. So it's just a matter of selecting the ones. So we did 4 of them out of the gate, of which I Run on Country's the first single, and then we've got a whole schwack more that we got to get on the record. So that'll be coming out following these first 4.
Oh wow. And
Yeah.
obviously the fan base, anybody who wants to become a fan or find where you're at, I mean your website, can you give us any details on that?
Yeah, we're washboardunion.com, and then just type our name in, and you'll see where all our socials are. We can be found on the entire internet now.
Everybody can now. There's no secrets anymore, is there?
There's no secrets. That's
There's no
right. That's
secrets.
right.
And the great thing as well, a big shout out to Strut Entertainment, who, as I say, we have formed a really good relationship over the last sort of 2 years. And I've often spoken to artists about that support mechanism and having the right people around you. That's just not family and friends, but that's also from a professional point of view, having the right management, PR people
That's
around
right.
you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge part of it. It lets us focus on the music. Um, we're very involved in our business, so I think you have to be these days, absolutely. But we were with a record label in Canada, Warner Music, and we've gone our separate ways. And so we got the choice for the very first time to hire who we wanted to hire in our marketing team and our press team. So it's been great. They've been great to work with. It's still fairly early days with them, so but they've been working their tails off for us, and we really appreciate that. They're good people over there.
Yeah, I think that there's one of the common themes through, and Ontario is Canada on the whole, but certainly in Ontario, per square mile, there is a lot of good musicians, every genre, but there seems to be a hell of a lot of country, very good country artists, whether it's male, female band, multi-country genre in there as well,
Yeah.
all around Ontario.
Yeah.
And obviously speaking to people like to Strut and other people, they're saying that people like, obviously, what you just mentioned there, the big labels, they tend to, I don't know, they tend to be more rigid, where if you go on your own and you, like you say, you're choosing your own, there's a lot more to choose from and you're doing it the right way for you.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's got to work for the band, and you got to have the right people in place, and you can't do it alone. It's tough, and so the best thing you can do is start going out to meet people who
Yeah.
work in the industry, and the same names will be coming up over and over again, from people that have worked with them, and give them recommendations, and when you can find someone who comes highly recommended by your peers, it's great. It just makes the job so much easier.
It does. So what's around the corner? Have you got live shows lined up or,
We do. We got a heap of them this summer.
like you
We
say,
go
not
coast to coast.
you're down south to Nashville or to America, haven't you? But
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
imminently coming up?
We're going. We'll probably start up back again at the end of May.
Yep.
Because that's when a lot of the live touring in the summer starts, and everyone likes to wait for winter to end in Canada before you get back out on the road. Yeah. But we've driven through our fair share of snowstorms, I can tell you that.
Yeah, ditto. Last year, I mean, I'll put my hand up here. I know my first day landed in Ontario. Me and my family got in the car, went to Niagara, trying to find a hotel. I ended up on the bridge to Buffalo.
Lucky there's a bridge coming back too, right?
Well, you'd think, wouldn't you? But they made us wait quite a lot, about an hour. So and it was so cold. There was so much snow knocking about, and they even charged me for the way back. I said, listen, I've made a quite a bit of a mess here. I've took the one-way system, and then what gave me a little bit of comfort when I checked into my hotel. They said, yeah, quite a lot of people do that because there's a one-way system getting. I think it was the Crown Plaza, and I went right, looking at me sat nav, and then I said to my wife, I said, don't look now. We're in America, Um,
America, America can sneak up on you quick like that, can't they?
well, I think the guard was really unimpressed when she said, "Well, so you don't want to come into America?" I went, "No, I just want to go to Canada." So I think that's why they made us wait and charged us, and obviously COVID passes and etc. because it had just eased.
Oh, right. So it's complicated.
That was I put on Facebook. Only me could turn left, take a wrong turn in and end up in America. You know.
Oh, that's great.
But
Isn't
no,
that that
said,
isn't that that famous John Lennon line? How do you get to America? Or how do you find America? Turn
yeah,
left to
turn left Niagara. I need to write a song about that. But it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, my friend. And like I said, good luck with everything,
Yeah,
everything on the band, and hopefully get to see you over here on next time I come over to Canada.
you got it. You got it. It's a pleasure talking to you, and good luck with the football club.
Yeah, I was going to say the same to you, but I'd be lying.
Okay.
No, hands across the water. Yes, I hope you have a. Yeah, that's fair enough. You can tell I'm
Awesome.
competitive.
Good.
All the best, my friend.